The story of Joseph. When God's plan makes no sense. The story of Joseph. Trusting God's purpose in the midst of trials. Have you ever felt like your life was completely off track? Like everything was going wrong and God's plan made absolutely no sense? If that's you, then you are in excellent company. We're diving into one of the most powerful and heartbreaking yet ultimately triumphant stories in the Bible, the story of Joseph. Our story begins with Jacob, a patriarch of Israel, and his 12 sons. Now, Jacob had a favorite, his son Joseph, and to show this favoritism, Jacob made Joseph a magnificent, multicolored coat. This coat became a symbol of their father's preference, and Joseph quickly became the object of their intense jealousy. The dreams, seeds of promise. But Joseph wasn't just a beloved son. He was also a dreamer. In one, he saw his brothers' sheaves of grain bowing down to his own. In another, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed down to him. Joseph, in his youthful innocence, shared these dreams, confirming his brother's worst fears. So, you think you're going to rule over us, do you? These dreams were promises from God, glimpses into a future where Joseph would hold great authority. But between the promise and the fulfillment lay an unthinkable path. The betrayal from brothers to slave. One day, Joseph's brothers were out tending their flocks. As Joseph approached, their hatred boiled over. "Here comes the dreamer," they sneered. They conspired to kill him, but eventually decided to strip him of his coat and throw him into a dry cistern. Then, a caravan of Ishmaelite traders appeared. The brothers decided on an even more profitable, though equally cruel, plan. Sell Joseph into slavery for 20 pieces of silver. Taken to Egypt, his dreams seemingly shattered, his life utterly derailed by those who should have protected him. Egypt, Potiphar's house. Joseph arrived in Egypt, a foreign land, a slave. But even in this desolate situation, the Bible tells us the Lord was with Joseph. He found favor in the eyes of Potiphar and was put in charge of the entire household. But then another trial. Potiphar's wife repeatedly tried to seduce Joseph. Joseph, committed to God, fled, leaving his cloak behind. Enraged, she falsely accused Joseph. And just like that, Joseph went from running an estate to sitting in a dank, dark prison. His life was a masterclass in when God's plan makes no sense. Prison waiting and interpretations. Even in prison, the Lord was with Joseph. His gift of interpreting dreams resurfaced when Pharaoh's chief cupbearer and chief baker were thrown into the same prison. Joseph interpreted their dreams accurately. One would be restored, the other executed. Joseph asked the cupbearer, "Remember me when you are restored to power." The dream came true, but the cupbearer? He forgot Joseph. 2 more years Joseph languished in prison, forgotten, his dreams a distant, cruel memory. Pharaoh's dreams, the call to purpose. Then, after a total of 13 years since his betrayal, God moved. Pharaoh had 2 disturbing dreams: 7 fat cows devoured by 7 thin cows, and 7 healthy heads of grain swallowed by 7 shriveled ones. None of his wise men could interpret them. Suddenly, the chief cupbearer remembered Joseph. Joseph was immediately brought before Pharaoh. He humbly told Pharaoh, "It is not in me." God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer. And Joseph, through God, interpreted the dreams. 7 years of abundant harvest, followed by 7 years of severe famine. From prison to prime minister, God's elevation. Pharaoh was astonished. "Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God?" he declared. He appointed Joseph to be the second most powerful man in Egypt. Just like that, in a single day, Joseph went from prisoner to the prime minister. He was given Pharaoh's signet ring, fine linen, and a gold chain. The dreams God gave him as a teenager were now being fulfilled. God had used the pit, the slavery, and the prison to position Joseph for this very moment. Reunion and revelation, God's sovereignty. 7 years of plenty passed, followed by the famine. And who came to Egypt, desperate for food, bowing down to the Egyptian ruler? Joseph's 10 older brothers. They didn't recognize him, but he recognized them. The dreams had come true. After a series of events, Joseph finally revealed himself to his brothers. His response? "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." God took their evil intentions and wove them into his perfect plan. Lessons for us when God's plan doesn't make sense. So, what can we learn from Joseph's incredible journey? 1. God is always with you. Even in the pit and in prison, the Lord was with Joseph. Your circumstances don't dictate God's presence. 2. God has a purpose beyond your understanding. The path to greatness was through immense suffering. 3. God uses all things, even evil, for his good. He can redeem any situation. 4. Trust the process, even when it hurts. Joseph endured for 13 long years. Keep trusting. Keep seeking him. Maybe you're in a pit right now, a difficult job, a broken relationship, rising debts. Remember Joseph. Your current trial is not the end of your story. It might just be the very thing God is using to position you for your ultimate purpose. If this story encouraged you, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments. What part of Joseph's story resonates most with you? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.